Hello everybody, welcome to the Wonky Angle, where I talk about electronic music, both new and old. And today, I think it's time for some updates regarding my Patreon page. Alright, so the last 48 hours or so have been nothing short of a whirlwind. So Friday afternoon when I dropped my review of Trent Muller's The Last Resort, I finally reopened my schedule for Patreon request videos for the first time in over a year. And I even upped the price to $30, capped it off at the usual 12 slots, which is what I can typically fulfill over the course of 1 year. I knew last time they sold out pretty quickly, like it took like a week. But what I was absolutely not anticipating was for all 12 available spots to sell out in just 7 hours. The other night I was just completely scrambling to keep up with everyone, and the last spot got filled in like at 1 a.m. as I was getting ready to go to bed. And all of this has happened so quickly, and I got several other comments after I closed the schedule from other people who were really looking forward to also sending a request of their own, but were like, I don't know, awake at the wrong time or just weren't fast enough. And that left me thinking, oh Christ, if this is the way things are going to go from now on, I don't know if that's sustainable. So, I figured it was time to make a bit of a change to compensate for this higher demand. And I got the idea. How about I try doing a Some Stuff I Missed roundup for paid requests? Some Stuff I Missed roundups have been one of the best things to happen to this channel, as they allowed me to digest a lot more music than I would have ever had time for otherwise, in such a way that kept my actual workload more manageable. And they also get a lot more attention and views, which the vast majority of regular Patreon request videos cannot compete with. So I felt like this would be a perfect fit for, people to send in paid requests for a bigger roundup like that. And when I floated the idea yesterday afternoon, people seemed to agree. People seemed to be on board for the idea. I put up a vote both on Patreon and in a YouTube community post on whether I should reopen the schedule right now and leave the new $30 pricing the same, or reopen the schedule next year after I fulfill all that already sent in request, but allow the cheaper old pricing I had before. And the votes came in. It seems people would rather the schedule just reopen for that roundup right now. The vote was a lot closer on the Patreon poll, presumably since I initially wrote that I thought about moving some of the already sent in requests over to this roundup, but the people who sent in the requests beforehand wanted their videos to stay as normal videos, so that's what's going to happen. All 12 of the requests that people have already sent in beforehand are going to be fulfilled as regular dedicated videos as they normally would. But as of uploading this video, the schedule is going to open up again, and people can send in requests for a Some Stuff I Missed style roundup. I'm gonna call it Some Requests I Missed. As per people's votes yesterday, the price will be the same, $30 per slot, and I will cap it off at 20 slots. I don't know how quickly these are going to fill out, but I figured that out to give people plenty more chances to send something in and keep things open for a more comfortably long time. At least hopefully. If these sell out just as fast as those initial 12, I will be over the freaking moon, but I don't anticipate that happening, at least. We'll have to see. All the rules for sending in requests are the same as they were for paying for regular videos. The requests have to fall under my typically electronic-only format, and I personally decide whether or not they fit. No various artist comps, no DJ mixes, no remix albums. Although EPs and soundtrack albums can be allowed if they still fall under my format. And again, you only have to pay once to reserve your slots. Basically all the same rules that are already written on the main request tier. Make sure to give them a read over if you're not familiar. I've also decided, for fun, I'm going to keep the actual requests for this roundup logged privately so that they're a surprise when I finally upload the roundup at some unspecified point in 2024. But the public schedule post will include the requester's username so that they can get double confirmation that their request is locked in. As for how requests are going to play out going forward from here, like after everything else sent in this year is fulfilled and I get the next chance to reopen the Patreon schedule sometime in 2025, my current idea is that I'll just start off with people filling in spots for a new roundup for the same price, maybe extend out to 30 slots, and then I will personally pick 10 of those to fulfill for proper dedicated videos based on what I personally think would work the best in that format. Just give everyone an equal chance at it. I also got someone suggesting that I could also put in an even more expensive tier for people to force in a request for a full video slot if they so chose. I guess I could theoretically do that if people want that, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if that sounds like a good idea to you. I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For right now, everything sent in is just going into a roundup, and there's no upgrading going on. And aside from all that, in case anyone was wondering, none of the rules for the lower Patreon tiers will be changing. As a refresher, if you're paying $1 or more per month, you get access to certain videos a day early, such as worst to best rankings, top 10 lists, odds and ends videos, and some stuff I missed roundups, and very occasionally reviews for more popular artists, like the Square Pusher video I uploaded last week. If you're paying $5 or more per month, your name gets added to the shoutout list that I have at the end of all my videos. And then there's still the $10 tier, in which people can send in a project they made themselves, and I will write up a public text post review on Patreon for them, and then later share it on, like, Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff. That tier's pricing is not changing, and unless me uploading this video causes, like, 8 people to simultaneously send in something into this tier requiring me to close that tier as well to keep up, I'm going to keep those perpetually open anytime, as always. I currently have 3 people on the backlog for those. I just get to them when I get to them, as was the case for regular Patreon videos back in the old days. So, there we go. I think that's gonna be everything. So yeah. Shout out to my Patreon supporters, they're awesome people. Like, seriously, thank you to everyone once again for all the support. This has gone beyond all my expectations. And if you want to add yourself to that list or make me review something, link to my Patreon is in the usual place in the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all for today. See you next time.